bringing you the news and information you need from the people making a difference. This is Comcast Newsmakers.
Welcome to Comcast Newsmakers. I'm Ron Hedeke. My guest today is the Vice Mayor of City of Live Oak, and it's Rob Klotz. And Rob, welcome.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate being here.
It's a pleasure to have you. And I want to talk a little bit about how'd you get involved with city politics?
Well, when I moved to Live Oak about a year and a half ago, I started going to the city council meetings, and then I started going to the planning commission meetings. There was a couple openings, and so I applied and got on. And I was on the planning commission for probably about 6 or 8 months, and then people started saying, hey, why don't you think about running for council? I have a government degree at Sac State, and so I decided to go forward with that. I ran and was very successful.
Is it everything you thought it was going to be or more?
Probably more. I really enjoy what I do. I like getting out with the people, talking to them, learning different things, meeting new people. I very much enjoy it.
I think one of the fascinating things about being involved in city government is that you get to hear all the various opinions, but you also get to lead. And there's a lot of things that people don't understand sometimes, but they can take, and your leadership allows them to see things and move the city in a right direction.
You bet. That's one nice thing I like about being on the council is that you're able to listen to everybody's opinions and then sift through all of it and then, you know, make the best decision for the city.
Live Oak continues to grow. I mean, as much as we all would like to see our towns stay the size they are forever, you have to grow in order to survive. And how's the budget in Live Oak? Because everybody's getting hit in various ways, compliments of our state trying to figure out what they're doing. How's Live Oak?
Well, Live Oak is doing very well. We just passed our recent budget a couple weeks ago, and we were fortunate enough to have no layoffs. We did not have to cut any public services.
Wow.
And we also prepared for the 1A take that the state was going to do ahead of time. So when they took it, it wasn't a big deal. We were ready for it, and everything worked out just fine.
Okay, and as you go through the budget situation, that's part of growth. I mean,
growth,
it costs money, but it also brings in money, and that's why you want to grow.
That's true. You bet. Yeah, Live Oak has done a good job in growing and keeping track of the money, and we continue to grow on a monthly basis.
You have a new wastewater plant that's really that you're working with and working on. Talk about that a little bit.
You bet. Yeah, a couple of months ago, we awarded the bid to a company in Northern California, and it's going to be about $18.9 million. We got a $10 million grant from the Recovery Act that the federal government did, and we also got a $6 million loan, 30 years for 1%, and then we're going to kick in about $3.5 million.
Okay, now why now all of a sudden is wastewater such an issue?
The state gave us a cease and desist order. The water that comes out of the plant currently is not enough parts per billion. Clean-wise. So we have to go through and revamp the entire system, put in a new system, and that's the main reason why we have to do it.
So when that happens, I mean, the state, and it's been interesting, people think, well, the state said that, so the state's going to give you the money to do that. That's not necessarily the case.
No, not at all. Unfortunately, the state does not give money to cities that they give a cease and desist order.
Right.
So we have to scrounge around and find money on our own, and if we don't get a nice loan like we did from the federal government, then we have to increase the rates considerably to the ratepayers, which is a sad case.
You bet. Now, talk a little bit about the new plant. It's going to be a pretty nice facility, and it's built for future growth, right?
Yeah, right now the one that we have is okay on capacity, so it's not a capacity issue. It's just a matter of cleanliness. The particles per million that come out of it is what they're trying to work on. We don't have all the details yet because the contractors have not given us that, but they told us that the main purpose is just what flows out of the particular facility.
What are some of the things that Live Oak has to look forward to now off into the future? Is some of the, because you always have to plan. I mean, and you have your growth plan, and sometimes it's the best guess, but what are some of those items?
Some of the things right now that we're working on is a new Tower Mart came to town. It should open up probably the end of October. That should bring about 20 to 30 jobs in town. And it's also the first real grocery store that we've had in over 40 years. It'll have a meat market, a deli, and a bakery. And then also we're working on the Highway 99 corridor to make it more nice, spruce it up a little bit, to give a nice gateway into the city when people drive down 99.
Well, there's a lot of things happening in Live Oak. Keep going, and don't give up on any of that because it's all worthwhile. Thanks for being with us on Newsmakers
Appreciate
today.
The opportunity. Thank you.
And we'd love to have you back anytime. That things are always happening in Live Oak.
Thank you.
Thank you for being with us, and we'll see you next time right here on Comcast Newsmakers, where you get a chance to meet with the people in your community that are making things happen. See you next time.